Well, I live a few miles away. I was first alerted to this problem of the exploratory well at West Newton because that's an area I often walk my dog.
My name's Jan Naylor. I live in New Allaby. I've lived there for 20 years. We moved here because it's such a beautiful area and we fell in love with it. We were a bit taken aback when we heard what was happening down at West Newton. We never heard anything about planning. We believed at that particular moment in time that they were drilling for water.
I didn't know anything about it until the site was there. Unfortunately, people don't look at the planning applications.
The first time we sort of heard about it was when they were bringing transport through to start with the original well pad site. It was the lorries carrying hardcore and things like that that were going through the village. Not large convoys, just one or two lorries now and then. Nothing that we were overly concerned about. But as time went on, the traffic that was coming through the village got heavier and heavier and more frequent.
Those first big convoys in were awful. And of course, if they're going to production, that's going to happen all the time.
The first big contingency of tankers that we were aware of that came through was the morning when they had 64 vehicles come throughout the day. It was about 8:30 in the morning when there was a high police presence in the village. We realised that something was obviously going to happen. We had no idea what. Just before 10 o'clock, it started rolling through. The first lot that came through were for about an hour and a half. Then they had a pause where what they were dropping off obviously was coming back through the village. And then again, just after 1 o'clock, another convoy, slightly smaller than the first one, came through. And the last vehicles leaving the village that day was about 5:30 at night. So from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5:30 at night, our village was at an absolute standstill.
And where the new site's going to be, it's going to go through Sprockley village, which is, we'll feel it more than they did in my village because it's a village with houses closer to the main road.
I bought a derelict farmhouse in the middle of West Newton approximately 80 years ago, and it had been empty for 50 years and was in a quite horrendous state. I spent 5 years renovating it, and most of the work myself. Moved in, I think, 2 years now, and of course I hear of this drilling operation, and it's rather heartbreaking to me. Don't like it at all. I'm devastated by it. I spoke to Rathlin yesterday and they do not seem to understand my concerns. It is heavy industrialisation of the area. we now have an industrialised dump, I would call it. And I thought I had a beautiful house here, but I'm soon live in the middle of a town now, away from it.